What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well with everything that's going on. We've taken a little bit of a hiatus. Both of us got hurt and everything's been super crazy, but I thought it'd be a nice time to make a video and do something different I haven't done before. Bryce isn't here just because the video I'm doing doesn't involve him very much and he would just sit here quietly and it'd be super awkward. Basically what I'm gonna do, because unfortunately Crankworx Whistler just got canceled, which I was super bummed about, I thought it'd be cool to go back and look at all of the pump track races I've competed in Crankworx starting from 2017. I have not watched almost all of these. I was going through and finding the timestamps and stuff and I was like, I raced them? What happened? I was so confused. I thought this video would be really fun and something for the Crankworx fans to watch while unfortunately Crankworx Whistler's not happening. So I think we should just get right into it. I'm going to start with Crankworx 2017. This was my first time on the hyper dirt jumper and my first real experience in mountain biking. In the pump track, I was so confused. I had no idea that there was going to be no chain. I just went for it. This track definitely suited me as it was the straight rhythm track. It was a nice introduction for me because I think if it would have been on one of the loop tracks, I would not have done nearly as well as I did. I'm going to let the intro of what pump track is play, so those people who don't know what it is can see.
Let's break down the pump track challenge presented by Rockshot. Obviously, no change means no pedaling. You need a minimum of 26-inch wheels. It's a time trial format, and that brings us to the top 16 men and top 8 women that we're going to see in this live format. It's head-to-head. Head-to-head. You take 2 runs on the 2 courses, you combine those total times, obviously the fastest person goes through.
I couldn't have explained that any better than they did. I had not done any of the Crankworx up to this point, so obviously I'm not on the leaderboard for anything. I'm going to skip over to the first bracket and we could see where I was sitting at and what was going on at this Crankworx. Right now, this is the semifinals bracket. I do not know what I qualified at this event, but I ended up in the semifinals against Caroline Buchanan, which I was super stoked about that. And, oh, it's so cool to be racing her, not in a, oh, I can beat her way. I was like, well, this is how far I made it, and this is it. My first semifinal, so this was determining whether I would go into the big or small final. I'm just gonna take a look at this really quick, just the whole situation. At first glance, I'm loving the stickers on my handlebars. I'm questionable on my blue jeans with the blue jersey. I'm not sure if I was trying to match that or what was going on, but you know, that's okay. We tried our best. But yeah, let's hit play and see what happened in this first semifinal.
Caroline Buchanan and Jordy Scott.
My hands are just
whoop, whoop. A little trouble out of the gate here. You can't do that against Caroline Buchanan.
I do not know what my strategy was, but I know it was not very good, that's for sure. So let's see what my strategy was. See, I like get nervous just watching this.
Scott, right.
So
not that bad.
Scott than we've seen in the previous rounds. And we know she's
this track is so fun.
What are we going to see from her against Caroline? Jumps from Caroline, Jordy Scott lagging a little bit, and Caroline's going to take that advantage into the next round.
Yeah,
yep,
Caroline
I remember that.
She has wasted no time to take care of business. She's going to have the advantage over Jordy Scott.
It's so weird watching because I feel like I wasn't very aggressive at all. I also don't know why I was manualing because at this point at least I was way better at jumping than I was at manualing, and it would just made so much more sense to jump. But you know, I was just trying what I could do, and that's about it. Now we're at the semifinal number 2, and so at this point I got beat, and I was like, oh man, because I had no idea that you actually could go into the small final. I just thought, oh, that's it. I was defeated, I think, but I do not remember how this run went, so I'm going to watch and see.
So here we go, Caroline Buchanan on the right.
Yep. Okay, almost a second off. Sad times.
Caroline with the advantage.
Yeah, a lot at stake here, Vito.
Oh, there's the bad gate.
Yep. The start for Jordy Scott. She's going to have to push. She's very good on the final straight, but Caroline Buchanan herself.
Wow. Oh, I like that line.
Smooth down this final straight.
Okay.
She's going to go on to the next round, being in the big final.
Yeah, well, she has earned herself a spot to battle for the gold. Congratulations.
Not bad, not bad. I was learning. I'd never done that before. At this point, I thought it was all over. I'm not sure where between this and the next race did I figure out that I was racing again, but I do have some sort of recollection of being like, what? I'm going again? And like rushing up there. Now we have the final bracket. So I ended up going against Joey, and it was Caroline and Jill, which was like super awesome matchup at this point in time. It was queen for queen, very intense things.
Jordy Scott and Joey Goff.
I'm like so twitchy in the gate. I've always been like that.
You see Joey Goff out of Great Britain. So USA versus Great Britain.
Joey's so nice.
Battle for the bronze.
Let's see.
Double BMX women.
I think I messed up.
Here today. Here we go.
There, the young gun, Jordy Scott. She has been a bit sluggish out the gate, but she really makes up for it in this final straight. Can she do it here? She's a little bit behind, but she carries great speed, and she's doing it again. Reeling back a little bit, but Joey Goff with it.
Okay.
Yeah, 0.10 the difference. Joey Goff is going to have the advantage on that one now.
Okay, that was a lot better. Honestly, that seemed better than the runs I was going against Caroline. I think maybe it was in my head. I definitely had one little bonk on the manual, but I think I remember liking that right side quite a bit more. But I guess we'll look at the next race. We have the final run of the night.
For the women now.
Again,
and now we go back to Jordy Scott and Joey Goff.
Can I just look at the camera?
Jordy Scott now is on the right, so she switched locations. Joey Goff is now on the left.
They look orange.
It's only 0.10 though, so this one is anyone's.
It really is.
Okay, I think I messed up on this run. We'll see.
Jordy needs one of her better starts tonight. She hasn't been having them yet.
Wow, my hair is so long. Okay. Wow, not that. No.
Decent start from her. That's better than she's had
felt the
before.
frustration.
She really comes
I messed up there.
She can
Yeah.
have a really good, good
Wow.
pump there.
I was
Look
like,
it's
oh,
enough. Look, is it
aw.
enough? No, she's not gonna do it.
That was so
Joey
close.
Goff
I swear I
will
wasn't
cross the
mad.
line first, and she will be the winner, and that means Joey Goff will come away with the bronze
Woo.
medal competing out here at Crankworx.
I think people might think I'm frustrated. That's just something I do. If you watch me when I win races, I also do that little like hop thing across the line. I hope I didn't look too angry and people were like, oh. That was my first Crankworx. I didn't get a medal, obviously, but it was a nice introduction and I was really happy that this track suited me because it gave me at least a bit of confidence of, okay, you might be able to do this. Whereas if it was a loop track, I probably would have not even qualified. Now we are moving on to Whistler 2018. I'm gonna be honest, I have very little recollection of this race. So as we have here, this is the bracket. I'm trying to think how I qualified. Either second or fourth. I still get really confused on the way the brackets work. I ended up in the sad position against Jill for semis. All right, yeah, this track was cool. Like it'd be cool to have in your yard or something. Much better gate, as you can see, really figured that out.
Very good start by Jordan Scott.
The announcers were shook.
We've seen it before, even when she's down in the
Close,
heat one
close,
of these
but not
rounds,
close enough.
Bring it back in the next round, but taking advantage to the next heat of the semi-final.
You could like see in my face, I had a confidence that there was a possibility I could beat her. When I was going against Caroline the last year, I was just like, oh, whatever, I have no chance. So that was the first round. We're gonna go over to the next round. We could see some character development. My jeans are now black.
Looking to be the underdog, but she's gonna have to make
Underdog,
up 0.26
woo!
in order to do so.
Big thing to make up.
Experience there, not getting in the gate too early. She doesn't want to spend too much time thinking about this race.
My gates were prime this year.
Jordan Scott, yeah, Cam, you called it.
How did I jump so high?
Already. Jill needing to
Go,
make up some time
Jordy,
here.
woo.
Has Jordan Scott put too much pressure on
There's-
Jill? Oh. Well, she had the advantage. Is it going to be enough?
Now Jill doing
I swear I wasn't mad.
exactly what she needed to do.
Yeah, I promise I wasn't mad. That's like an instinct. It's just like, oh man. But my bike happens to be in my hand. I hope people don't think I'm a sore loser. Yeah, that was a win and a loss, obviously. I didn't make it to the big final, but it was a win in the way of I knew that it was possible to beat her, and it really motivated me to train for the next year. But let's move on to the small final. I do not remember who I was going against. Okay, so this is the brackets for the final, and it's Kaylani. So I probably had the mindset similar to what I just had of, oh, I made it to the small final, but I'm not on the big finals.
Repertoire. I'm sure she's got a trophy case at home from the BMX world.
Good gate. It's so weird. I'm like pedaling.
Scott has been getting great starts all night. Lonnie Hines is quick in this final straight. She needs to bring us back there.
Those back corners. I'm so bad.
She's doing just that.
It was close.
Keelani Hines through the fifth.
I don't remember actually being that close to it. I do remember really liking this track. I do remember not liking this side as much. Let's see what happens. Woohoo!
So Kalani Hines on the left-hand side of your screen. Jordan Scott
2.6.
on the right.
How close was that? I don't know.
0.26 back. She has to get a wheel ahead yet.
Not my best gate, must say.
Starts have been great all night. The Kalani Hines has always.
God, that straightaway was solid.
Straight.
I'm so
Jordan Scott
bad.
needs to pull out something here. No, it's not going to be enough. Kalani Hines will be your
Sad
winner of
times.
that heat and your bronze medal.
Yeah, Keilani Hines definitely excels on that final straightaway. More of the same from her, and another medal.
That is my 2018 Crankworx. I think we're going to move on to 2019 Crankworx, which was a good year, a really good year. So 2019 Crankworx was solid. Speed and Style happened for the first time, and I won that, which was awesome. And this was the best I had ever felt on a track. Like, the second I got on it, I was like, wow, this track might be for me. They weren't identical lanes. We were like racing each other, and you never really knew until both people went because they were slightly different. And I qualified first, which was super cool because I don't remember how I qualified any of the other years, but I know it wasn't first. So I got a bye run for the round of 16, which was kind of nice because the round of 16s always goes right after practice and qualifying. So you're just like, oh, what the heck's happening? Qualifying first puts you in a position where you don't have to go against your hardest competitor until the final. It was me and Joey and Jill and Keilani. Let us check out the semifinal runs. Woohoo! Yeah, I do remember messing up pretty bad in this run. More character development. We have gotten new handlebars. Woohoo! I definitely like this look better than year one. Let us see what's going on.
Semifinals for them, so blank slate for both riders, no differentials to speak of.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Can Jordy back up her number one
Okay.
qualifier? She's looked good all evening. This is the semi-final, heat number one.
These corners are hard.
Joey
See how far apart it is?
Great
It's so
blitzing.
weird racing.
Trying to put some pressure on Jordan.
I messed up.
And she's doing that.
Oh my god.
Great last turn for
Wow.
her.
I did not realize how much of a difference that was.
0.31 ahead of
Oh my god.
Jordy.
Oh my god, did you see my face right there? I looked like I was gonna cry. I was shook. That's the only way I could describe it. I was just too far ahead in my thinking at this point. I was not in the present at all. So we're at the next round. I could already tell, just like this frame, that I'm way more focused. I have this issue of performing better under pressure, where if I do bad the first round, I can be under that intense pressure that I have to do good, and I do better. But let's see.
Jordy Scott, your number one qualifier. You see Tom Zula made it into the finals. He was the number one qualifier for the men. Can Jordy Scott do the same? She has 0.31 to make up.
She is
Impressive
on the fast
game.
lane camp, so if anything's in her favor, it is that. She has been riding great all night, but now the pressure's starting to mount. She qualified fastest, and
This is a big jump.
is going to really make or break her. She's clean to that turn. I think she's going to be able to do it, Cam.
Here we go. She needs 0.31.
Oh my god, I
She
feel the
gets
relief.
1.14. Jordy Scott moving into the
I'm
final.
so happy.
So that is a great story for her. She's managed to put herself in the finals. Your number one qualifier.
Looks like I'm scared, like something bad's gonna happen if I don't win or make it, but nothing bad would happen. I mean, I'd be a little sad. We made it to the big final for the first time. Let's check out the big final. Woohoo! So this is me against Jill and Joey against Keilani.
Speak of.
Okay, riders, random start.
Let's see who can get the advantage.
Okay, wasn't good, I just know. Oof.
So youth
It wasn't that
versus
bad. What the
experience,
heck?
Jordy Scott.
Everybody told me it was bad.
One
What?
qualify against Jill Kittner.
The corner though.
Jill looking a little bit sluggish in that outside turn. Can she put some back?
Oh, that was it. I was so
Bit of an
sad.
advantage into Jordy.
Look at that.
Oh, that mistake was so bad.
On top of
Such
Jordy
a
Scott
big
there.
difference.
That's
Now,
a
this is
big
what we
gap
saw.
in pump track racing, Cam.
Totally. And this is similar to
But
what
I was just so bummed that not even that I got beat, that I made that mistake, because I watched that corner getting blown out over and over and over. But next run ended up a little bit better and gave me a lot of confidence. So let's check that one out.
will it go to Jill Kittner, who has a 0.73 lead going into this run? Or will Jordy Scott, your number one qualifier, fight from behind and take the gold?
So nervous. Solid game.
It's tense
Wow.
out here, Cam. Jordy Scott, the number one qualifier. She's into the fast lane.
Good
She's got
corner.
some time to make
It's
up
so
though.
crazy with the
Can
slalom
she stay
stuff.
patient enough
Huge
and
jump.
drive out of this last turn? She's got the lead.
Oh,
Will it be enough, Cam?
man!
It doesn't look like
Jordy
it.
Scott through by 0.31. It will not
Only I
be
didn't mess that
enough.
up.
Look at that. Jill Kinner
Oh, easy.
taking
Oh, we know
the
that was
pole
Bryce.
once again here in
You know.
Whistler.
Yes, Bryce. Hi, Bryce. So close. That was a close year. I was happy with it. It worked out, and I knew what I needed to do my best at the next event. With that being said, I think we should move on to Rotorua 2020. My first time out of Whistler. Rotorua 2020 was an awesome week. It was what could have been a great start to a complete Crankworx series, which I was planning on doing the entire world tour. I skipped over to my first interview of the night. This was my first time getting interviewed for Pump Track, so I was like, woohoo!
How are you feeling energy-wise after the big win last night?
I'm still carrying the momentum, a little bit sore from the crash I had earlier in the day, but I'm just trying to stay in the present time and take things one lap at a time. Some of those corners are a little bit tight, and it's hard to hold up with all the G's, but I'm going to try to keep figuring it out and hope I can make it to the big final.
Jordy, speaking of the corners, we noticed that you were a little bit low in one of those berms, lost a little speed. Luckily, you had a big buffer zone. But is the course deteriorating, and are you intentionally going low because some of the upper parts of those berms are falling apart? What's the story?
Oh, I wish. No, I'm not intentionally going low. The corners are definitely something that's not my strongest suit that I've been working on, so I just got to really consciously make sure I get up in those berms. So going to keep working on it and hope I can hold some more speed through them with the rest of the night.
Well, all the best for the next round.
Thank you.
That was so funny the way everyone was looking at each other like, what did she just say? Did she just say she sucks at corners? I don't think they expect me to say that. I mean, I wasn't going to lie to the camera. I wasn't going to lie to anybody. The corners are really hard for me, especially that right-hand corner. So yeah. Now we are at the brackets for the semifinals. Jill and I both had very fast competitors. This is the first semifinal heat, and this was an intense one.
Mathilde Bernard on the left side of your screen going up against Jordy Scott. We've been talking about her all night. Second in Whistler 7 months ago. To Jill Kittner. Will they meet up again in the final here? Let's see what happens.
She had a really good gate.
On that slower lane. Mathilde Bernard, former winner of the event. Looking clean.
This is a close race.
Riding flawlessly through those turns that are a problem. And there you have it. Losing some ground.
Wow.
Jordy Scott will take that advantage. 0.3 of a
Yes.
second. One of the biggest
happy.
margins we've seen when both riders have been clean.
Yeah, this track was also short. It was really slow too.
Jordy Scott, so strong in all these
Oh,
two-wheel
I like
disciplines. If it's
this.
got two wheels, she's down to try it. Expect this.
So many people ask, why are you like this? When they have the camera, they're just like pointing it at you, and I don't want to just sit there. And I'm going to work on it. I'm not going to be as crazy. This is the second round of my semifinal.
12 times. She focused on technique. She focused on her own race.
I mean, Jordy Scott was probably hoping she wasn't going to come back, because if she wasn't in Whistler, Jordy would have taken the gold. She had the silver there. She's hoping to meet up with Jill Kittner for a little bit of redemption in the final here, but she's going to have to get past Mathilde Bernard.
So can Jordy do it? She's holding good pace from that slower lane.
It's close.
That is a strong ride by her.
Yeah, Jordy Scott has.
Ooh, that was really close.
She will
I didn't realize how
skate
close that was.
through into the final. That's going to be pretty good. A mirror image of the final we saw in Whistler 7 months ago.
Why
Jill
am I
Kittner
like
going up
this?
against Jordy Scott. Both of
Oh
them
my
have a gold
gosh.
already this week. And now
It hurts
only
me to
one
watch.
can repeat gold.
We have the brackets for the finals. Me and Jill and Shania and Matilda. I was just like in this zone of, okay, I can do it this year. It's going to happen. I can do this. Here we go. The first final of Rotorua 2020.
This is what we saw in Whistler. Jill Kittner going up against Jordy Scott. Jordy Scott with an opportunity to get up to the top step of that podium in Pump Track. She was only one spot off 7 months ago.
Okay, riders.
I was nervous.
Riders ready. Watch the gate.
Look at that focus by Jill. She's got to be patient here though.
I love this little first feature.
Yeah, but she's got to be patient because this is where the turns are tough for her.
Made it through smooth.
We pick her up. It looks like she was clean today.
I love the hype.
Okay, Jordy Scott with the advantage over Jill Kintner.
Whew.
This is going to be really interesting. It's so
I was really
rare
happy.
that we see Jill Kintner with a red box.
They always are like telling you to switch behind the camera.
2018, we saw it so often. She'd lose the first heat, and then the next run, she would come out swinging.
Okay. I was really happy with that round, and I was like, okay, all I have to do is hold it together on this next round and not make mistakes. Because I knew that if I made one small mistake, that was it. Let's see what happened.
Jill Kintner with some work to do. She's got to make up .38. Can
I like get nervous just watching.
nights in a row with a gold medal.
This gate was hard.
Good start from both of them. Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah.
Jordy Scott's got the wheel ahead.
I
Can
had
she
such a
get
good
through these
corner.
turns? It's looking good. I don't think Jill's going to be able to do it.
The hype.
Jordy Scott keeping her honest.
Man,
It's so close.
Scott is going to take that gold medal out from under the champ.
What
Jill
just
Kintner.
happened there, Cam?
I was super happy that I held it together. And yeah, let's listen to what I had to say and what the announcers had to say.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking. Good job.
I think Jill's thinking the same thing. Great sportsmanship from them. Wow, what a race.
Oh man,
Jordy,
another interview.
what a run.
We're so
Describe the
happy.
feeling right now.
I'm so stoked. I mean, this has been a lot of years in the making since my first Crankworx when I was 16, so I'm really happy to finally make this happen, and it was just a really good run, and I'm really happy I was able to get it done.
Well, we are taking you seriously right now, Jordy Scott. So amazing. What year was your first Crankworx?
I want to say 2017.
I knew it.
Yeah, in Whistler. So the past few years I've raced at Whistler, and this is my first year doing the World Tour, so it's off to a good start. I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, good job, Jordy.
He's very
Excited.
happy.
2 nights in a row, gold medal. So I can't wait to see what those Queen of Crankworx points are looking like.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I mean, that was I was really excited to see how it stack up this year against the people who have ran for Queen or been Queen. So far it's actually looking pretty good. After air downhill and dual slalom, I didn't do quite as good as everybody else.
They
did,
were
but
hard.
I'm working on them, and I'm really happy with my results in these past 2 events.
Well, you ask and we shall receive there, Cam. Jill Kintner out front with 340, but look at Jordy Scott. 211 starting to creep up that leaderboard.
Yeah, that was my experience with the Rotorua 2020 Crankworx. I was super happy to finally take the win after, as you guys saw, small final, both 4th, no medals, and then finally made it to the big final, 2nd place. So it was like just so much growth. I learned so much, and it's just so crazy. I'm up there, like I'm one of those people. So it's really cool to see. Thank you for watching. I thought this would be a really fun video to film. I thought maybe give the Crankworx fans something to watch and a different perspective on the racing from somebody who's done it for a couple years. I'm just learning a lot, and I like to share a little bit of that with people. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I thought about breaking down some speed and style stuff, but there's only one of those races, so that would be all the rounds. But if you guys would be interested in seeing that, let me know. Bryce will return soon. The B of J&B TV will be back. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you guys will like and subscribe.